So in this lesson, we're going to take a closer look at horizontal and vertical lines. So you can see here, horizontal are lines that run straight across flat. Vertical are the ones that drop like a rock. I love this picture. This is by Eric Johansson. Check him out at ericjohanssonphoto.com. He's got a lot of cool graphic designs that he's done. But with this picture, you got your horizontal line. This guy's been just riding his bike all nice. And flat, pretty easy going, and you can see right here we got a horizontal road, nice and flat. He's looking over the edge though, he's looking nervous. Try going down that sometime on your skis or something. That would be a crazy vertical drop. Remember, the slope of those lines that are vertical are so insane, we have the undefined value for that, and then our horizontal class, so easy, that's just 0, easy as pie. Alrighty, so let's take a look at horizontal lines. We would know that if we had a line that's horizontal, that it's going to run straight across the graph on our page here. So, for example, this line right here, this flows straight across on a horizontal path, nice and flat. That would be a horizontal line. Now, what is its slope? You remember Mr. Slope guy. What's the slope of a horizontal line? That's like his mouth, and the two dimples remind us that it's 0. So, the slope of the horizontal line is 0. Slope is 0. I want to remember that. But we want to take a look at what the equation of a horizontal line is. Now, in order to do that, we're going to look for a pattern. I want you to just pick a point. I'm just choosing a point kind of randomly, but I want it on this line, of course. And let's take a look at what its coordinates are. So if you take a look at this point, it looks like we've got an x-coordinate of negative 7 and a y-coordinate. Y-coordinate is 4. So this point on our line, negative 7, 4. Now, let's just pick any other random point. How about right here? This one looks good. What's the coordinates of that one? Looking at x is 3, y is 4. So this will be 3, 4. And just for good measure, let's take one more. How about this one right here on the end? So this one, x-coordinate, y-coordinate. X-coordinate is 8. And we come up from there, that's 4 on the y-coordinate. So, do we notice any kind of pattern? Of course. On this horizontal line, there's definitely a pattern. Take a look. Just highlight these. Pattern I'm seeing is that I get the same number right here every time for every point I picked. The same number, 4, 4, and 4. And that is the pattern we want to express in an equation form. Now, take a look at what coordinate is 4. It's in every spot, this coordinate, the second one, which is our y-coordinate. So our equation is going to say that our y-coordinate is always equal to 4. And by saying that, that describes for us the entire line. Little bit different than that y equals mx plus b, although it does still live in there. So y coordinate is always equal to 4 is the way we say this horizontal line. So let's see if you get that. Another quick example. Let's say I have a line that's running right here. I'm going to try to draw this straight. Whoa, that's crookedy. Sorry. Pretend like that's nice and flat. Nice straight line. What is the equation of that line? Well, in order to find the equation of that horizontal line right there, I'm just simply going to describe what the y-coordinate is equal to all along the way. How far? And basically, look right here. Where does it cross the y-axis? It crosses at 2. So that's easy as pie. Y is equal to 2 describes this entire line. That's how we're going to do horizontal lines. So this is a little mnemonic, a little memory trick to help us know that when we have a horizontal line, that's what our H is for, horizontal line, that's not an O, although we're going to say hoy, but that right there is supposed to look like a 0. That's the slope of a horizontal line. The slope is 0, and the equation of that horizontal line is going to be a y equals equation. It's going to simply be y equals some number. And as you look at it on a graph to find out what that number is, you're going to look at how it crosses over the y-axis. What value does it cross the y-axis at? Right there. What's that number? So just another quick example. We have x and y-axis, and we've got a line that crosses through right here. Let's say that crosses through the y-axis at 5. Then my equation is going to be y equals 5. It's pretty simple. You've got to keep it straight. With vertical, though, because vertical has some of the same properties. However, vertical lines, they run up and down. So let me sketch one of those, a vertical line. So let's take this vertical line right here. Pretty steep line, slope is undefined. Let's jot that down. The slope is undefined. We'll abbreviate that UND. It's undefined. And if we take a look for a pattern again, we can do the same sort of thing. If we pick a point on there and take a look at what coordinates it's got. This time our x-coordinate is -5 and we're up at 8 for our y. So let's get a -5, 8 and do that with a few points. If we take this point here, x-coordinate is over -5 and our y-coordinate looks like it's at 3. How about I pick this one right here? What's my x-coordinate there? X-coordinate, I'm going over -5. And the y-coordinate there, right on the x-axis, that y-coordinate is 0. So is there a pattern we can check out here? You probably see it already. My pattern is that every time I have a point that I've picked on this line, that I get -5 in which spot? Is that the x or the y? Well, of course, that's the x. And so that's how I'm going to describe my equation. My equation is going to say that my x-coordinate, or x, is equal to, in this case, this example, x is equal to -5 in every one of them. That describes the whole line. So that's how you write the equation of a vertical line. If you're doing the equation of this vertical line as another example, hey, I do that. Oh, I almost was going to brag that I did that straight, but it got all messed up right there. Anyway, the equation of this vertical line is simply a matter of figuring out what x is equal to on that whole line. And x is equal to, you can see it right here where it crosses the x-axis. X is equal to 6. So that would describe that line. That's how you do a vertical line. All right, so our memory trick for vertical lines are the kind that go straight up and down. Vertical lines have a slope that's undefined. So that's for our u. And our equation reads x equals the number where the x-axis, where it crosses the x-axis. So VUX, vertical lines, undefined slope, x equals the number is our equation. So in our graph over here, if I had some line running straight up and down through that x-axis, whatever number it crosses through right here, that's the equation for my, or that's the number I use in the equation. X is equal to whatever that number is right there. So let me do another little example here. If I'm doing maybe this one, and this crosses at -11, then the equation of that line would be x. Remember, x equals -11. Sweet. Okay, let's do some examples. I've got Hoi Vux up here to help us remember. You might want to write that on your own notes. Hoi Vux. So horizontal, slope is 0. Y equals is our equation. Vux is vertical, slope is undefined. And x equals is going to be the way we'll write equations. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to write equations for the lines that they describe. Okay, first one. I've got 2 points, and I'm looking for the pattern in the points. Did you remember? Look for anything in this point set, this set of coordinates that matches this set of coordinates. Do you see this -10 right here? So that's kind of interesting. That means we're going to have a line that is either horizontal or vertical. Which coordinate is that? Is that your x or your y? Yeah. That's your y. So it's going to be y equals from our Hoi Vux. This is a horizontal line. It's going to be y equals -10 because it matched for both. That would be our answer. Okay, next one. For this one, do we see any kind of pattern in the points? Do you guys see this 18? See this? Oh, back up. -18 and -18. We got it repeated in exactly the same location. Which coordinate is -18 in? That's in our x coordinate. So this is x, and it's equal to -18. X is -18 would be the answer. That whole line would be described by. Next one, a vertical line. Now, we only get 1 point, but they tell us it's a vertical line. So that actually sets up our equation for us kind of already. Remember, this is a vertical line. Look here on VUX. We're going to do vertical line. So our equation is going to be from x equals. Look at that point and tell me what x equals. Well, x equals 14 from that point. It's our first coordinate. So this is our answer here. All right, in our next example, we've got a horizontal line, and a horizontal line is for, we can remember that with our Hoi Vux. So horizontal line is a y equals equation. Look at that point, check out what y is equal to. Oh, holy moly. Did anybody just love this number? This is my favorite number, guys, 17,704. What's the y part of that? 704. So y equals 704 is my equation. Cool. Now, hey, what if you had to graph those? You're going to do some assignments where you're going to graph it. Let's see. If you're going to graph it, if I can squeeze this in here, y is equal to 704. Go on the y-axis to 704. I'm not going to count that, but I'm going to label it. This is a 704. And then my line, I would draw my line right through that on a horizontal flat path. Nice and horizontal. Don't mock the artwork. Okay, last couple, there is a graph for us. Now, what kind of a line is that? That's a vertical line. So this is going to be from our little memory trick. This is a VUX, vertical line. So I would write this as an x equals. What does x equal for that whole line? You can find it real easy if you can tell me what x equals right here. That's going to be x equals 3. So that's the equation of this line. All right, last one for good measure. This kind of line right here, this is a horizontal line. Horizontal line, so let's go H for horizontal, and remember H-O-Y, HOY. So it's a y equals equation. What does y equal along that entire path? Where does it cross the y value? Right here at negative, looks like -7 is what I'm getting. So y is equal to -7. Horizontal and vertical lines can be tricky, so try to use this Hoy-Vux idea to keep them straight, all of the different pieces of it. And that's what I want you to write about in your summary. Be really specific in your summary about how Hoy and Vux help you to keep the properties of horizontal and vertical lines straight.